Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aini and the title of my proposal thesis is an analysis of students' perception on the use of Twitter to learn English, to learn vocabulary in second year non-English department students of UIN Raden Masa Jakarta. So, in this research, I used two techniques to collect the data. The first technique is observation and the second is interview. Observation. I use observation to conduct as the technique to collect the data is because I want to observe more about the events and the routines of the student in Winranda Masa Jakarta. Because observation is the data collection technique that required to looking and noting systematically people, events, behaviors, settings, artifacts, routines, and others. And with this observation, I want to know about the students' behaviors and routines in using Twitter in Winranda Masa Jakarta, whether they use Twitter often or not to use Twitter, and how they behave in using Twitter. Do they use Twitter and using English in communicating in Twitter or not? And also, I want to observe the students' behaviors and the routines while they are joining the K-pop community, because the subject of my research is the students of non-English department, and they were joining the K-pop community and also using Twitter and communicate in English and learn vocabulary while using Twitter. And the second technique to collect the data of this research is using interview. In interview, I want to look more for the participants' perception on their own thought about the use of Twitter. Because according to Louis in 2018, interview is a flexible tool for data collection, enabling multisensory channels to be used in verbal, nonverbal, seen, spoken, heard, and indeed with online interviews or in written. The researcher want to conduct the interview using direct interview or even put in online interview, adjust with the condition of the participants. And interview are chosen to be the technique to collect the data because interview is gather the participant opinions and belief and feelings about the situation in their own words, so that the data that the researchers need are complete, because the researcher want to analyze the students' perception, so it had to be on their own opinions, beliefs, and words. In interview, it has three types. The verse is structured interviews, unstructured interview, and semi-structured interview. Structured interview is it means that the interviewer need to make a list of questions that will be asked to the interviewee while in the interview. And in unstructured interview, the interviewer gives the questions to the interviewee spontaneously based on the situation. And the last is semi-structured interview. And in semi-structured interview is the combination of both structured and unstructured types of interview. It uses a list of questions like in the structured type and also permits the interviewer to ask additional questions to explore the topic more detailed. And in this research, the researcher want to use the semi-structured interview because the semi-structured interview give a chance to the interviewer to expand the question during the process. It leads with open-ended questions, which are questions that can be answered with a simple yes or no. And if based on the answers, the interviewer will ask follow-up questions to draw out more specific evidence about the topic. So the researcher will get more complete data about the research, and it will give the participant more chance to express their idea, beliefs, and feelings, and also their perception about the use of Twitter to learn vocabulary. To conduct the interview, the researcher planned several procedures. Such the first is prepare the instrument before doing the interview. The interviewer prepared the research instruments on herself. And next is to consult the research instrument with the advisor. The third steps is asking the students permission to conduct the research or the interview. The fourth is interviewing toward students one by one to get the data. And the last is writing down and making some notes for students' answer. The speaker have been chosen based on their experience that they ever study vocabulary using Twitter and their activity in K-pop community. Before the researcher interviewed the speakers, the researcher asked do the speakers join the K-pop community and ever use Twitter for learning vocabulary or not. And also, with the reminders that the participants is not comes from the English department of UIN Surakarta. The researchers use questions from the previous journal that have been searched by the researcher and related to this research. Both of Bahasa and English language are used to conduct the interview because the participants are not all mastering English language, even though they are learning English. And it also adjusts with the condition, the questions, and also the participant ability in using English language or even using Bahasa. And also, those language are maybe adjust more about with the condition while interviewing. And that's all the technique to collect the data of this research. Next is research instrument. There are two types of research instruments in qualitative research. And in this research, the primary instrument is the researcher herself, and the secondary instruments is interview. The researcher as the instrument need to observe, conduct the research, and collect the data they are needed. The secondary instrument, the interview, will be used to find out the student's perception on the use of theater to learn English vocabulary. And that's all the presentation of the technique to collect the data and the research instruments of my thesis proposal. Thank you for listening, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.